Father Joe Dumfrey. I'm from Rockport, New York, where it's snowing now. I must say, it was 65 and a half years ago that I graduated from high school, and with a few other guys from upper New York State, went down to Maryland, this antebellum, beautiful, big place that was big, and not that beautiful, I should take that back. It was a nice place. It was nice to visit. And there I met their Martin Quest. I never knew how to spell his first name, but I knew it was FrLehr, and so we got together. But as we got in there and got situated and got work going, we all got jobs to do. Everybody got a job. I don't know how I got the job. I was cleaning this old house. I didn't apply for that, you know, but we got jobs. But FrLehr, he got the job of barber, and he was the barber. I said, how did you get the job? I just got it. He was affirmative, very affirmative about that. And I said, oh, okay. Well, they started cutting hair of everybody. Everybody got their hair cut. We all got our hair cut the same way. Some of the guys would say, why did you change? Well, now I learned about how FrLehr's affirmatively works. He says, well, I can't change. He said, why can't you change? Well, the novice master told me I have to cut the hair this way. We all took that for granted. Nobody was going to argue with the guys in charge. So, but they kept cutting our hair the same way, and we kept looking. Except Paul Ruddy. Paul Ruddy was a little older. He came from up north or in Michigan. In fact, he came from a place called Lothbrook. And I told him, who's this old? Seems like he came from a biblical land. He was the oldest one in our group. But age meant a lot because you were put in order for age for just about everything. Where you sat in the refectory, where you knelt in the chapel, almost everything you did according to your age. And this is where it got a little difficult for me because FrLehr's birthday was on July 16th, and mine was July 25th. So he was the guy always on my right. He was always ahead of me, always on my right. And that was okay, you know, but it went on for 1 year, 2 months, and 8 days. I remember that. Nevertheless, here's where we sometimes hear that God grabs our attention with coincidences. This is not the first time I've been in St. Rita's Church for a funeral. Because the person on the left of me, who was about a few days younger than me, his name was Jim Prentice. And you may well know Jim Prentice. Father Jim Prentice, pastor here, whose funeral I was at, I think it was about October 1st of 1991, quite a few years ago. But Jim was there, Father Jim. And that idea of coincidences getting our attention. God, I really don't want you to get the attention that quickly, though. But I'm here tonight for the second time for a funeral, and those two guys were my bookends. They were, and it's strange how different they were, though. Troy talked about cars all the time. FrLehr talked about almost like being in charge all the time. But it was good. And then in 1964, April 11th, we were ordained priests in Wilmington, Delaware. 14 of us. Tom Landgraf and Paul Ruddy were there at that time, and we have one other member in the Eastern Province. I don't know where the other 10 have gone, but they're not here with us. But they're with us. They're with us in spirit. And that was very important for FrLehr, was that date of ordination. When he was around, we were in the same area, he would always pick a place to go to dinner. I didn't never pick a place with FrLehr. You know, I'll pick you up and I'll take you. So we always went to, but on that date we always had dinner together and we were in the same area. And then he left himself here. He would always call up, because that date was so important for him. And I really think that You recognize that very much in that sense. You know, at a time of a funeral like this, or any funeral of anybody, the Word of God speaks to us. It tells us really what life is about and what the destiny of the person is called to. And I think it's so true today that we were talking about FrLehr at the first readings, talking about how time is what we live in, but how fragile it is, how it ends, how time ends. And it is that beautiful line at the end that says, but God has placed the timeless in our hearts. All through this journey of our life, we are kind of remembering that, much like the Magi. We're remembering that journey that we're making. And then, of course, in that final second reading that we had, final reading from the book of Revelation, it's like God saying, look, here's what I've been trying to tell you all the time. There is a new heaven and a new earth. The old heaven and the old earth are passing away, and that's where we are. And so tonight, as we kind of gather here, we're looking at there's destiny being fulfilled. But also, what is important is his life. Does life matter? What he did does matter, as it does for all of us. And, you know, we can neither judge a person because we're not capable, nor are we responsible for that. We can't give a final judgment to a person. That's God coming down. But I think we can see the goodness of people. And for my own personal feelings here tonight, I see the goodness of FrLehr. He entered into bonds with a bond of religious life, a bond of priesthood, a bond of family he had, and a bond of humanity that he shared with so many people, so many people. And in those bonds, Jesus calls us, saying, look, there's only 2 commandments. Love God, love your neighbor. Love is caring about the other as much as or more than you care about yourself. And I think FrLehr did that often, and well, I saw many instances of it. He was not perfect, nor are we, nor are any of us. But there were so many instances where I thought that came through in ways that were kind of beautiful. He certainly, in a sense, as a priest, when St. Jane de Chantal was asked, they were examining St. Francis de Sales to see whether he was a saint. He was the first one after the Council of Trent to have that. And they asked her, what was St. Francis de Sales a good priest? And she said, yes, he was a very good priest. He said Mass every day. He heard confessions. He preached often and well. And that was pretty tight. It was pretty tight definition. FrLehr did that. I keep a little long sometimes, but he did that. I'm talking about him now, and he can't talk about me, so it's but no, he did that. He was a good priest. As a religious, he did what he was asked to do. He really, sometimes he might just be a little gruff about it, saying maybe that's not the best idea, and so this was shared with me, and I said, but he did what had to be done, in all those facets that he worked in, especially in education, in school, and all the lives he touched there. And then I know he loved it up here at St. Rita's. As a pastor, he just was enthused about it. He was enthused about most everything, but he really was somebody who cared very deeply. And I think that he, in a special way, had a personal care for the needy. I saw that a lot. I saw that with families who had kids that didn't have the money now anymore to send them to school. Somehow he worked out how they would have the money to send the kids to school. They would be at school. Another thing, he was always open to people. You know, he had a lot of people that can criticize in any area that we had. But he would listen. Anybody would come in, he might not agree with them, but he would listen to them. He would always open his door to people who had some issue to complain about or talk about, or ask about, actually. It was good. It was good. And I know that as a pastor, I'm sure that same thing was true, but because he talked about it, he loved the people there. I just know that. He really was happy. He was a very, very happy person. Kids in school can kind of wear you down, but the people here invigorated him, made him very, very, I think, very happy. But I want to take just one instance, because there's so many instances you have, and anybody who has a position of leadership at anything in the church in any area, is always going to have moments when tragedy strikes. And it's awfully a very, very hard thing for anyone who is in charge to deal with tragedy. And Laird had different times that it struck. There was one instance that really, because I observed it was kind of up close at the time because I was involved a little bit with it. It was graduation, the week after graduation, I think it was Friday after that. And two of the boys, it was mid-June and up in western New York, and two of the boys whose one father had a boat, took it out from this harbor in Wilson, Lake Ontario. And somehow, for whatever reason, whether one fell off and the other dove in to try to help them, they both, when the autopsy showed, both got hit with cold underwaves, freezing underwaves. It stayed in Lake Ontario quite late, almost into the summer. And one had a heart attack and the other drowned, trying to save him. But they couldn't find him. They couldn't find him. And that night, kids of the class, they were having a party, graduation party a week later. And so they came over to look at Laird's, and Laird was devastated. It just sucked the heart out of him that night. And he talked with the kids, and they couldn't find the bodies for nearly 2 weeks. And they keep coming back, and the kids would come back, and he'd talk to them and try to bring some sense of hope. It was one of those things where there was no answer. There was no answer, other than listening and being there. And the parents came. And day after day, they would come almost literally. But not all the kids would come. Some would come one day and the next. Because they were heartbroken. And I saw him through those 2 weeks. And then finally, when the bodies were found and they had the funeral and 2 caskets together, families together, kids all together, packed church, he got up and he gave a beautiful homily. It was simple. And it really was about just simply saying, one constant thing in life is change. Sometimes change is so devastating that we cannot bear it. And that's why we need a relationship with a God who loves us, cares for us, and will make everything right. It was so simple, but all of the time spent listening and caring was just, I thought, a wonderful, wonderful way of going about living his outlaid life, his priestly life, his human life, and the life that his family reflected so much for him. And so this is what I think there is about him. There's many stories, and some are good. Some are very good. But I would tell you just one, because, he's always in charge, and this is about death as well. We had another classmate just a little ahead of Laird. He was on the right side of Laird. He was ahead of Laird. So Ed Canavan, he was ahead of Laird. And this is about 20 years ago. Ed had come back from Brazil, I know that. He was over, and I think he was at camp. But he was in the hospital, he got sick. He was very sick. And he was in the hospital maybe in Jackson. I don't remember all that. So anyway, and we got word that he was sick. He was really pretty bad. And so I got a call from Laird. I think it was on like a Thursday, toward the end of the week anyway. He said, "Joe." I said, "Yes." He's like, "Well, Mark said it." Mark said, "Yes." But what is it? He said, "We're going to have the funeral for Ed Canavan on Monday. We can't do it on Tuesday because we have something here at the church. So the funeral's going to be on Monday." I says, "Oh, okay. I feel bad, He says, "Yeah, but I'd like to do it on Tuesday, get a little more time, but we'll have to do it on Monday." I says, "Oh, okay." I said, "When did he die, Laird?" "Well, he's not dead yet." "But I will die this afternoon." Well, I'm by the phone on that Thursday night, and you say Friday, whatever the day was, Friday there. I didn't hear nothing from Laird. I wasn't going to call him back. So anyway, I decided, I think I called over to camp. I called the other son. "Paul, is Ed Canavan dead?" "No." He said, "He was bad, but he took a turn for the better. He's in the hospital. Yeah, he's in the hospital, but he's not." I said, "Oh, Well, I never did call Larry. I saved it for one time when I finally did see him. I said, Larry, where did they bury Ed? So anyway, but Larry also, and take it more seriously, Larry also heard the words of Jesus, who said, if anyone would come after me, let them take up their cross and follow me. The cross is never something that we want. The cross is never something we want. It's something we have to take, we have to accept. We have no choice about it. And Larry took up that cross, I think certainly within the past year, I think a little longer before that. The cross of an illness, the cross of not being able to be the person he was, not be able to get around, not be able to share life with people. And that was a cross. That was a cross. I saw him last June. TL and I went over there, and he was such bad shape. It was really bad. And it was not the person he ever was. And it was just, there was a big sadness that hung over us. Both of us when we saw him. We left there. And, you know, it almost seemed like at the beginning, you know, we talked about death. And I think we always almost feel about he's not having, but that was the life he had. This life God gave him for another, no, how many months from there? About another 6, 7 months since I saw him. That was life. And you know, I was thinking about this when I got a call the other morning from Ken and TL were there in the room. And it took me back again to when we first started out 65 years ago. And when we first started out, we had this book here. It was called, this little black book. It was called A Directory, and it's for an outlay. It's kind of giving me a way of living. One of the ways of living was to let God be in the present moment in your life. To let God be in the present moment, and really you're okay. You know, like even though you might be faltering, you might have failed, you know, but bring God into the present moment in your life. And when we were in the bishop, they could really work at it, and they had little things that you could do. I had to write it down there because I could never remember it. But on the hour, especially when we were at recreation, somebody was supposed to say, we are approaching eternity. And everybody else would respond. I could never remember it. Vouchsafe, O Lord, to assist us at our last hour. And the reason I got there because I had to write it in the back here, and I forgot saying it after I left the bishop. I must have, but I always did remember saying often, we are approaching eternity. I could never remember the end of it. We are approaching eternity. But I looked it up, and it said, assist us at our last hour. Tom and Ken told me how they were with him that morning, Friday morning, and they were talking with one another. They talked to FrLehr, and they were talking, but Larry was calm. It was the calmness that came over him. Tremendous calmness was it. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Ken looked at the and then he looked back and said, Tom, I think Larry's gone. He went home. He went home gently. He went home gently. So, a beautiful, beautiful journey. A beautiful journey. We're the pilgrims. We're the ones still traveling. So let us all, in a sense, carry on that journey ourselves in a very special way. Loving God, loving our neighbor.